Let me start with a number that should terrify you. 38%. That is how often insurance companies deny a CT scan request, nearly 4 out of 10. And for some procedures, the denial rate is even higher. You go to your doctor, they say you need a test or a surgery, and then the insurance company says no. Not because it isn't medically necessary, because they have a secret checklist of procedures they deny automatically. These are not mistakes. These are business strategies. And once you know what they are, you can fight back. By the end of this video, you will know the 5 most commonly denied medical procedures in the United States, why insurers target them, and exactly how to get them approved. I will give you the specific language to use in your appeal, the magic phrase that forces a second review, and the one document your doctor must write to overturn almost any denial. Whether you need an MRI, a surgery, or a prescription, this video will give you the tools to get the care you need and the coverage you paid for. Let me start with the #1 most denied procedure: advanced imaging, including MRIs, CT scans, and PET scans, according to multiple studies. Prior authorization denial rates for advanced imaging range from 20 to as high as 80% for some specific types of scans. Why? Because these tests are expensive. An MRI can cost between $1,000 and $5,000. A CT scan can cost $1,000 to $3,000. Insurance companies know that if they deny the scan, many patients will just give up. But here is the secret. Most denials for imaging are based on a lack of clinical documentation. The insurer says the test is not medically necessary. To overturn this denial, your doctor needs to include specific details in the request. They need to state the exact symptoms, how long they have lasted, what other treatments have been tried, and why the scan is essential for diagnosis. A vague request like, "Patient has back pain," will be denied. A specific request like, "Patient has had radiating leg pain for 6 weeks, failed 6 weeks of physical therapy, and has a positive straight leg raise test," requiring an MRI to rule out disc herniation, will almost always be approved. The second most commonly denied procedure is physical and occupational therapy. Insurers love to approve the first few visits, then deny the rest. They argue that you have plateaued or that the therapy is no longer medically necessary. Data from one major insurer showed that nearly 40% of physical therapy claims for patients with shoulder pain were denied at some point. The fix is documentation. Your therapist must document objective progress, like increased range of motion or decreased pain scores. They must also justify why continuing therapy is essential. If you have been denied, ask your therapist to write a letter of medical necessity. Use phrases like, "Without continued therapy, the patient will lose functional gains, and the patient requires additional sessions to achieve independent home exercise program compliance." The third most commonly denied procedure is bariatric surgery for weight loss. Despite overwhelming evidence that it improves long-term health outcomes, insurers deny a significant portion of these requests. In a study of patients with employer-sponsored insurance, 31.9% were initially denied coverage for metabolic and bariatric surgery. The most common reason was failure to meet the plan's specific documentation requirements, like proving 6 months of supervised diet or documenting obesity-related comorbidities. The key is to read your policy's medical necessity criteria before you even apply. Your doctor must check every box. If you need 6 months of documented diet attempts, provide those records. If you need a psychological evaluation, get it. Check every box, and you will be approved. The fourth most commonly denied procedure is spinal surgery, including laminectomies and spinal fusions. Insurers are extremely skeptical of back surgery because outcomes vary widely. A 2022 study found that commercial insurance pre-authorization denials for lumbar spinal stenosis surgeries could be as high as 80% for some specific procedures. To get approved, you need a paper trail, physical therapy records, pain medication trials, diagnostic imaging, and a second opinion from a specialist. The more documentation, the harder it is for the insurer to deny. The fifth most commonly denied category is expensive specialty drugs, particularly biologics for autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and psoriasis. These drugs can cost $5,000 to $20,000 per month. Insurers routinely deny the initial request, requiring a trial of cheaper alternatives first. That process is called step therapy. To fight this, you need your doctor to document why the cheaper alternatives have failed or are contraindicated. A letter that says, "Patient has tried and failed methotrexate and sulfasalazine" is powerful. A letter that says, "These drugs are not recommended for this condition" is not. Be specific. Provide dates of failed treatments and side effects experienced. Now let me give you the universal appeal strategy that works for any denial. Step 1. Do not accept the denial as final. Most people do. You will not be one of them. Step 2. Get the denial letter and read the specific reason. Step 3. Call your doctor's office. Ask for a letter of medical necessity that directly addresses each reason for denial. Step 4. Submit a formal internal appeal with the letter and all supporting records. Step 5. If the internal appeal is denied, request an external review by an independent medical expert. External reviewers overturn insurance denials in over half of cases. That is your best weapon. Let me give you a real-world example. A woman in Texas needed an MRI of her shoulder. Her insurance denied it, saying it was not medically necessary. Her doctor had written only "rule out rotator cuff tear." She went back to her doctor and asked for a more detailed letter. The new letter said, "Patient has shoulder pain for 3 months, positive impingement sign, failed 6 weeks of physical therapy and NSAIDs. MRI is required to differentiate between rotator cuff tear and tendinosis before considering surgical referral." The appeal was approved within 1 week. That is the power of documentation. For our UK viewers, the system is different. The NHS does not deny procedures in the same way. But you may face long waiting lists. If your GP refuses to refer you for a test or procedure, you can ask for a second opinion. You can also challenge a refusal through the NHS complaints procedure. For private insurance in the UK, denials are rarer because most plans follow the NHS guidelines. But if you are denied, follow the same appeal process. For Canadian viewers, each province has its own appeal process. If your provincial health plan denies coverage for a procedure, you can appeal through the province's Health Services Appeal Board. The key is to have your doctor write a detailed letter explaining why the procedure is medically necessary. The same documentation principles apply. Let me recap the key takeaways. Number 1. The 5 most commonly denied procedures are advanced imaging, physical therapy, bariatric surgery, spinal surgery, and specialty biologics. Number 2. Denials are often based on lack of documentation, not lack of medical necessity. Number 3. Your doctor must write a detailed letter addressing each reason for denial. Specifics matter. Vague language gets denied. Number 4. Do not accept a denial as final. Most denials are overturned on appeal. Number 5. External review by an independent expert is your most powerful tool. It is free and binding on the insurer. Number 6. Keep records of every failed treatment. Those records are your ammunition. Number 7. In the UK, use the NHS complaints process. In Canada, appeal to your province's Health Services Board. Number 8. The most important thing you can do is to not give up. Persistence wins. Here is what I want you to do right now. If you have a denied claim sitting on your desk, call your doctor's office today. Ask them to write a detailed letter of medical necessity using the specific language I outlined. Then submit your appeal. Do not wait. The longer you wait, the more likely the denial will stand. If this video helped you understand why procedures get denied and how to fight back, hit the like button. It helps more people get the care they deserve. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss my next video, which is called The One Sentence That Forces Your Insurance Company to Say Yes and. Comment below. Have you ever had a medical procedure denied? What was it, and did you appeal? Share your story. I read every single comment. Thanks for watching. Now go fight for your health. See you in the next one.